Hi guys, and welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Michelle.
My name is Nina. Welcome back, guys, to Carefree Queens. It's been a hot minute. It's been a break from Chelsea this weekend as well. But before we get into that, please like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out all our other episodes on Carefree Queens. I think we're about 10 episodes in now. I think this is the 11th or the 10th. And my goodness, it's been a roller coaster since we started this. I was thinking about it earlier. In the amount of episodes we have filmed, we have spoken, we'll speak now, 5 managers officially as of today. What? Michelle, honestly, if you look at it, if somebody told me in summer last year that we would sack Thomas Tuchel, that all this would happen in one season, we'd sack Thomas Tuchel, appoint Graham Potter for 5 years, sack Graham Potter to bring back Frankie Lampard, and have Bruno in charge for one game as well in between that, bring Frankie Lampard back to the Stamford Bridge, to then look forward to signing Pochettino for the summer. Wow. Well, there's Chelsea for you. There's Chelsea for you. Continuously making the headlines, whether for good or for bad. That's it. We're there. We are there. Wow. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? First of all, just in general, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's been a very peaceful week, a very peaceful weekend. I told you this, and I'm just gonna tell the show as well. I haven't been paying attention at all. Like, that's how done I am. I asked Nina, who are we even playing tomorrow? I was like, who are we playing? I've just been purposely disconnecting myself, I think, because it's not me being like, I don't want to follow the club anymore, but it's just discouraging to get all of this information all the time only for it to turn out negative. Like, it's just, for me, there's not any excitement left. It's like, just end the season already. For real, just end the season already. That, I even saw your fan cam after the Champions League game, and you were spot on with that. Like, you thought game had stopped because everyone just stopped and did absolutely nothing. It's not even making me mad anymore. It's not even making me upset. It's not making me sad. I'm just tired. Like, I'm drained. But this week has been really great because I purposely connected myself. What about you?
No, yeah, same. It's been nice to have a weekend off. It's been quite nice to be able to laugh at other clubs as well. Thank you, Tottenham, for a lovely Sunday. That was brilliant, honestly, enough to put a smile on your face. And yeah, we'll take humour from that because, you know, when you're sat 11th in the Prem, we're not looking forward to any London derbies. Them days are over. You know, we've got Brentford tomorrow, Arsenal next week. Usually we'd be so hyped about those derbies, won't we? We'll be kind of all around and turning up, but there is no turning up really. So I'm not expecting anything really from the rest of the season. I think I've made that clear. However, obviously I'm still here. I'll support the club through thick and thin. It's just nice to kind of take a break a little bit, and when you've been dwelling on it so much, it gets to your head to a point where you kind of need that little break there for a weekend. So yeah, quite happy with that. Obviously we've returned tomorrow. Brentford are 5 points above us, so technically we're playing obviously a game for 3 points. They're playing a game for 3 points, but whether we can get that, whether we can get a point, yeah, we'll see. But honestly, no expectations. Anything else is a bonus.
You know what? 6 episodes ago, you'd be like, yeah, heck yeah, that's something to fight for. It's only 5 point different. Like, you would be absolutely going for it. And now you're like, yeah, we'll see.
It's just the problem is once if we lose that game, the gap becomes even greater. You know, now we're dropping even further, and not quite sure who's sitting right below us, but obviously we're kind of narrowing that gap with the bottom half of the table and kind of extending the gap between the top half of the table. So when you look at it that way, it's not good. But, there's still, you still have to maintain some sort of reputation, like a Chelsea-Arsenal game back in the day is something that you're turning up for with everything to play for. The players, the managers, the fans, it's a whole spectacle in itself, isn't it? But it's just nowhere near that right now. But anyway, let's move in. Yeah, go for it.
Crystal Palace is below us, and they're on 37 points and won 39 points.
Well, there you go. So that game tomorrow is lost. Crystal Palace have an opportunity to get in front, and that's just it. That's the reality of how we are right now. That this is where we find ourselves. But anyway, Michelle, big headline again. Once again, managers, as if we said that this season would be where we see consistency with managers, as if this is the season that people thought we're going to stick through with one manager. Regardless of how long it takes, regardless of what difficulties we have to go through, that we're going to stick with one manager. Potter was meant to be here for 5 years, but here we are sat today talking about Maurizio Pochettino taking over the Chelsea squad. So now we're at a very different point. And first of all, I know that we briefly discussed it. I know you said you didn't have too much to say, and as soon as we kind of discussed that, obviously ex-Tottenham manager, you've got that kind of rivalry there, you kind of just went,
yeah,
you know what,
he said he just doesn't get it, does he? Why would he bring a Tottenham ex-Tottenham manager in?
Yeah,
that was my first.
But no, let's discuss why, because I feel like obviously Todd didn't want to rush into picking a new manager. Obviously he's come out and said he's taken his time. Obviously Enrique and Nagelsmann fell through kind of almost immediately. Well, they were in talks for a while. I personally was hoping and rooting for Enrique. As soon as that was done, I said, well, kind of it's in your hands now. It is whatever. Obviously Nagelsmann was a pretty fit kind of manager as well for the job. Good record with wins, a good record at Bayern. Obviously a young manager, has a good reputation with working with young players, but that was ruled off as well for X, Y, and Z reasons. And so then we were kind of left with not much choice. So of course names like Pochettino, Vincent Kompany, who people just thought, seriously, you can't just be throwing in names just for the sake of it. Celtic's manager was in there as well, and it's like, surely we're not just going to pick somebody now because then that means, why didn't we kind of take it into consideration earlier on? Obviously around the Southampton game, when people were saying, right, that's it, you've got to sack Potter immediately, there was nobody really to bring in. Now there were a little bit more of names on the table there, but looking at Pochettino among the other candidates, I think it seems that he is most fitting. I don't have a set opinion as of, yes, he's going to be amazing. I'm not judging anyone until I've honestly seen you in action. Obviously, he's arriving in summer. He's got time to, kind of look at things from a kind of an outside perspective. He's got time to watch the rest of the games. He's got time to watch the players, to think who he wants to bring in, who will complement this style of play and the rebuild, essentially, because the rebuild is being handed over into his hands now. So he's obviously taking the wheel with that. He's got a good reputation with developing players, improving players, and looking at some of the names and the bigger egos that we signed, they need improvement and they need individual work to be done to be able to work as a team, right? That's the main mission. Potter couldn't do that, couldn't improve a single player, under his reign at Chelsea. Obviously Lamps, he's obviously also worked with a lot of these players, so he's still kind of got that up his sleeve. But we're going to need somebody that can, really improve individual players so that they can work as a team, right? That's the goal here. And obviously we're going to need a striker. A lot of people are saying bring Harry Kane as well. Obviously Pochettino's got a fantastic relationship with Kane, but obviously that's just a conversation in its own. But like I said, I don't have any massive issues. I don't really have any massive favoritism towards him either. It just seems that he's kind of the most fitting candidate right now with who we've got. So yeah, we need somebody with that reputation. And obviously, if he's good with forwards, with strikers, I'm hoping that he can improve some of our forwards as well. Because obviously, we know that goal scoring has been a massive issue since a while back, not even last year, but Yeah, it's did you know, fun fact, did you know that Real Madrid, I read this morning, have scored more goals in England than we have this year? Like they've scored 4 goals, we've scored, I don't even know how many goals we've scored, well, barely 4. So yeah, like when you look at it that way, goal scoring is a huge problem, not just a small, you know, there is so many issues that need fixing. And, you know, Pochettino, I hope he knows what he's getting himself into, because
that's gonna be.
He thought he had a difficult job with Tottenham. Well, we're also very difficult at the moment, so there you go. But one will argue that he got Tottenham to the Champions League final, and that is enough to take notes that maybe he does know what he's doing. But yeah, just a little bit of thoughts on that.
I think it's fun that you touch upon strikers, because, like you said, we talked briefly before we start recording, and we did touch upon the Harry Kane thing and strikers in general, because we've been bringing quite a few, and we've been bringing in quite a few who has history as well. Like, you'd look at them and be like, yeah, that used to be a really good striker. I'm excited to see him here as well. And then he does, like, they do absolutely nothing. Are we cursed?
Probably.
So, like,
yeah.
Something with the atmosphere within the club, or do you just think we've signed them when they've been at a point in their career where it's like, yeah, maybe you've been at the top, but you're on your way down now because you've, like, what do you think is up with it? Like, it cannot be a coincidence. It cannot be a coincidence anymore, because it's not just one player. It's multiple players.
You know what? It's like, I honestly look at other teams when they score goals now, and I get that little kind of feeling inside, and it's like, why can't we do that? How can you score 6 goals against Spurs? Like, you know, like the last time we got a result like that, probably stretching back to Southampton, Norwich, Grimsby, them type of results. But just to score goals, or like more than 2 or 3, like, I don't remember what it feels like. I genuinely don't remember what it feels like. And I look at other teams and I'm like, you know, it must be nice. It must be nice to just watch them score a goal. You know, even just the feeling of watching the ball go at the back of the net, knowing that you scored it, just to see the players come together and celebrate. It almost just feels like it's been ages since we've seen that, and it honestly makes me sad. So yeah, like, you're right. I mean, one will say it must be a curse, you know, like you said, we brought in such fantastic names with like big histories, you know, if you want the likes of Lukaku, whatever, and then we just get left disappointed, really, isn't it? But now we've got strikers like Trevor Ince who are here for a while, you know, whether he's getting sent out, whether he's staying and will be improved in Chelsea Football Club in the first team is something we're yet to see, but that is something I'm calling for. From now on, I want to see Trevor Ince. Throw him in that starting lineup. I want to see Noni Madueke. I want to see Madrid. Yes, I want to see throw Chukwuemeka in there as well. I want to see Badiashile. I want to see, I don't know, even give, like someone was saying, even give Gabriel Lenina a chance in goal, like as keeper. Why not? I mean, we're conceding goals. We're conceding goals. It's not exactly that, like, we're not, like, yeah, okay, potentially maybe that's a little bit of a strength as opposed to goal scoring. Maybe we are, obviously, no, we are a lot better defensively than we are up in front. So when you look at that, I mean, there is nothing there that proves to you that anyone needs to start anymore. I don't think that anyone is proving they need to start consistently, like out of the regular starters. I think you should give the youth a chance. I think you should give the new signings a chance. And I'm hoping that Pochettino is not going to be, you know, is not going to stop himself from doing that, because we've been crying out for it all season. Potter played it safe. You know, Lampard is playing it safe as well, to some extent, but I want to see players that are here for the years that they will be, you know, the ones that have been handed out long year contracts, who are here to be part of the rebuild. I want to see them starting the games from here on, you know, stop repeating it, stop making it.
The thing is, you say Potter was playing it safe, Lampard was playing it safe, but I even said this in one of my fan camps, or in one of our episodes, where I was like, I do not mind safe football, but we're trying to play safe and we're losing anyway, so it isn't really safe. It's just like, it's boring and we lose anyway.
Thank
you.
Literally,
it's like, what we're trying, it's almost desperate to me to be like, okay, we cannot be offensive for the life of us, So we might as well just sit back, take a hit for 90 minutes, and then hope for the best. And then it rarely ever happens because we talked about this as well. Eventually and statistically, the ball will go in the net because you're literally just waiting for it to happen. Also, I think it's so funny that you say that Lampard and Potter are playing safe football because I think they're trying to do it, but we're losing. We're losing. It's baffling. And I really like your point where you're like, no one has proven to me that they're worthy of being a regular starter. I actually think that's it's so well put because it's just.
Maybe I'll exempt a couple names in there. You know who you are, and the fans know who they are.
Yeah,
However,
no,
the rest of the part, yeah, no, agreed.
That's the thing, and I really like that point actually because our squad is massive. It's too big. We could make 3 teams out of our one squad. So you might as well just genuinely, we don't have anything left to lose. Just experiment. I don't even care. Do something. Even you say Fofana, yeah, in the front. We've seen him two games, and he's been impressive to me. And then
I've just benched him and forgotten about him.
Yeah, it's we've barely seen him, and he's already made an impression. And I've said this so much. Yeah, I'm not a professional anything within football. I'm just passionate about it. But it's just what goes through their heads. There must be more than just if you have an eye for football, you will be impressed with him as well. I genuinely want to sit down and be have this discussion with the manager because it baffles me.
I'm calling him right now. Right, Lamps, get Lamps on the phone. Get Todd on the phone.
Yeah, no, seriously. If anyone knows anything, hit me up because it's not even me wanting to lecture him. It's me genuinely curious, what goes through their heads. They have been within this world their whole lives. They see the things we see as well, and not if not more.
Mm-hmm.
How come they not act upon it? I'm genuinely. So yeah, they might as well just like you said.
You're right. You said a really good point as well about playing it safe and in terms of on the pitch that we're very submissive now and we're very scared. I said this in my fan cam. Fear is something I'm getting more and more with our games because if we seem to be defending draws like they're victories now. We seem to be, as soon as in the rare occasions we've scored a goal this season, we've literally held on to it with dear life, where we've not even tried to be offensive afterwards. We've sat back. Liverpool as well, it literally looks like we're waiting for the final whistle. That's it. That's what we've looked like all season. There's never been a game where we've seemed like we want to come back, we want to fight. What comeback? When is the last time we made a comeback? We're stretching right back to last year here because honestly, it is beyond me that Arsenal can be losing 3-1 to Southampton at home and still come up 3-3. That is something that we'd never ever do. If anything, we'd concede more like we've seen us done this season.
Yeah.
We'd see a 4-1 result. We'd see a 4-1 defeat. So it's the fact that we don't have it in us to even attempt things like comebacks anymore, to go down, to be behind at the break, then to change it up at halftime, make drastic subs, make drastic, change of formations, and to come out with 2 goals on top, for example. No, when is the last time we saw that? Because that's it. There's no fighting spirit. There is no idea. And it all comes with the motivation. It comes with the self-esteem. It comes with the confidence. But honestly, I feel like confidence is dropping. It's being knocked over like a domino in the dressing room. That's how I see it. It's like a domino. And it struck me. It struck me because, no, it's okay. I'll just finish my point really quickly. You'll agree on this because you love Trev. But have you seen and noticed that Trev played one of his probably most kind of, what should I call them? One of his weakest games the other day. And it was almost crazy to see how much his self-esteem had dropped. Let me put this out there. We hadn't lost a game with Trev as a starter up until a few months ago. Just deep that, right? And since then, obviously things have changed as well. We have crumbled even more, but to look at how we were and to how we are now is huge. And Trev, someone that deserves to have confidence because he's actually been fantastic and he's had amazing defensive displays for us. Obviously under Tuchel as well, he was absolutely phenomenal. To see that drastic kind of decline as well in his self-esteem, I'm not talking about the football, I'm just talking about the self-esteem.
Yeah,
obviously it translates to the football as well because we see him make mistakes, and I'm not singling him out. I'm saying that he is another example of a confident player
absolutely.
who has now become not confident, and that's it.
Absolutely. Shoot, I forgot my point. When was I trying to?
Because I started talking about Trev and you lost your point.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's Trev. No. When did I try to interrupt you? I genuinely lost my.
About playing it safe, maybe about waiting for the full-time whistle, about not wanting to make comebacks.
Right. No. Yeah. So I genuinely lost it. Let's just talk about Trevor now.
Okay.
That tackle he tried to do along the I think it's a lot more mental, and see the way we react, see the way we are towards the club now.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine it being your job where you have high expectations for yourself, you have a million fans, you have so much noise around you. It's just baffling. I have noise around me, you have noise around me, but it's nothing compared to the noise they have around you, they have around them. So I think it's getting to them, and I think it's getting to them because they don't have the proper people around them, the proper training around them to be like, guys, we even games we dominate, we eventually get scared. I genuinely think they need to focus a lot more on the mental aspect. I genuinely think that would do wonders for them, because that we have a really, really good squad, but they're flopping because they've gotten into a losing mindset. They've gotten into a losing streak. Like you said, we celebrate draws as if they're wins because, oh well, at least we get a point then. So it's just, and then for you to talk about Trevor, yeah, you can great example. He is someone for me that is reliable and is not. I would say Cucurella is more on the I don't really know where you are. Are you gonna perform this game? Are you gonna drop out of the back line and just go on your own adventure? Are you gonna do amazing passes? He's unreliable. For me, Trevor is the opposite. He's reliable, but that tackle would have been looking spectacular. It was all or nothing, and he got absolutely nothing out of it. It's just it wasn't him. Do you know what I mean? If I were to explain the way I view him as a player, I'd say reliable, and that wasn't reliability at all. That was taking a way too big chance.
I rewatched it back, and Mudryk actually recovered that mistake.
Yeah,
Mudryk, bearing in mind he was on the other side of the pitch, and honestly, I saw a replay of that clip, and his pace is absolutely phenomenal. And it's just things like that, you've got to be in a season full of so many atrocities, you've got to be looking for the small. No, but it's true. In a season full of so much horror, you've got to be looking for the kind of the small lights in the tunnel everywhere. And there have been sparks in there, with the likes of individual displays, with the likes of some kind of individual performances, and they've not been enough to prove that you need to kind of utilize them and kind of get the most out of them. So there's just been so many questionable decisions, but obviously the spotlight has been kind of at the top, at kind of Todd, at kind of the board, the ownership, and some of the decisions they've made. I think Todd came out and admitted that he's made loads of mistakes, and fair enough. I mean, a man that realizes his mistakes is at least somebody that is kind of self-aware and is going to do something to fix that. And like I said, obviously we had a whole episode talking about Todd and kind of questioning his decisions, and it has appeared that he's been a bit clueless and that he's probably taken this season as a trial and error. Whether he can now make that correct decision with bringing in the bringing in Poch, and Poch potentially being the new kind of identity, or if the new kind of leader, if you like to call them, that is going to take control of this mess and try and prosper us for next season, because that's what we're looking ahead to now. It's next season, you know. There's nothing in this season that we can get out of that we haven't already. There's nothing to look forward to. We didn't turn up when we had stuff to play for. Don't expect us to turn up for things that, you know, to games that there is nothing to play for, considering pretty much everyone we play from here on is fighting for something, either for Europe, for top four, to stay up in the Prem, to fight relegation. Everyone has something to fight for. Chelsea doesn't. So honestly, from here on, the results we get, it's just kind of, I mean, obviously we've still got to stay up. I mean, I'm hoping that we kind of bridge that gap a little bit closer, push up, get to 40 points, and, you know, just call it a day. But
just 1 point.
Just yeah.
Yeah, that sounds hard to do. Even that sounds hard to do.
Like, absolutely, because a game like Brentford is a game that we would have been turning up with the absolute most motivation and, you know, confidence as well. It's just not like that anymore. It's just really, really not like that. If anything, Brentford are seeing promise points in us, and that just speaks a lot. You know, to turn up to an away day in, you know, kind of the West against your West London rival, and to think you're getting 3 points, that just says it all. And you know, fair enough, if they've got the confidence and they've got the style of play, we've seen them play some good football. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't know. I'm not even going to use the word hope, but there you go. There you have it. A lot of questions, guys. Honestly, let us know how you feel about Poch in the comments. As I said, I'm not going to judge the man before he's arrived. It's good to speculate. It's good to kind of discuss and foreshadow the decisions that he's going to make. A squad clear out is the first step that we take as well before we buy anyone. So there's a lot of change that the club is still yet to go through. If you thought that the change stops this season, you're wrong. Change continues. A lot of change will need to be made until we can be at a point where we can start to properly rebuild, start to properly implement a system, to develop a new identity, or to sustain some of, you know, kind of the old standards that we had as a successful club. So yeah, it's going to be a road. It's going to be a bumpy road, but you know, we're here to stick around. So yeah, Michelle, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, and you know, we're not on the road anymore. We're out in the gravel somewhere. Like, we're just trying to
off-road.
Yeah, no, we're somewhere out there. Yeah, do you know what I actually do? We don't know who's watching this. So if it miraculously lands somewhere within Cobham training ground, I just want to say, like, please turn up. Like, it's just, I think it's a lot more mental than people realize. Sit yourself down, try to figure out, why is this affecting me the way it is? Like, we have, like I said, we've said this so many times, we have quality players. We have quality players, and it's just like, I think they personally, I think they need to realize that. Like, they don't, personally, I think it's the manager's role to make players get the most out of their abilities, but like, they just, at one point when it's looking as miserable as it is right now, like, they need to realize themselves. So that was just like, we'll see if we win tomorrow, this might have been useful, but
absolutely,
yeah, no, other than that, I don't really have anything. I just, like you said, we will see. When's the game against? What time?
7:45 kickoff.
Okay, so
UK time, so 8:45 your time. Yeah.
We'll see if
well, okay, guys. Again, like, subscribe, do all of that jazz. Let us know what you thought in the comments down below. Give us feedback. We appreciate it. Obviously, the show is work in progress, like Chelsea, so we'll see the end of it one day, I think. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Cheers, guys.